Hello, I'm Gil Zilkha. Welcome to my channel, Essential Classical Music, where we look at the best recordings of the standard classical music repertoire. This video is taken out of my larger video on the great conductors and their best recordings. I hope you enjoy it. Now let's talk about his contemporary German conductor, Eugen Jochum. Jochum was very much the gentleman. He was a very humane, spiritual conductor. Was very good with choral works, which tend to emphasize more the spiritual side of things. I think, though, the first thing I want to recommend for Jochum is his Haydn London Symphonies. I mentioned this as my first choice in my video on the symphonies. His eloquence really comes to the fore here. His just very beautiful way of phrasing, where everything just sounds natural, not forced. Beautifully played by the London Symphony. A lot of people today will insist on period performances, but these are never heavy. They're very natural sounding. Nothing is overdone, and really a wonderful way to get to know the London Symphonies. Now, probably the composer with which Jochum is most associated with is Bruckner. He did 2 complete cycles of Bruckner. The one symphony that I think especially shows that is a great way to sample Jochum's way with Bruckner is the Fifth. The Fifth is one where it's not quite as obvious as you approach it in terms of what makes a great fifth. I've always said that for that work, you really need a conductor who is not as flashy necessarily, but one who is patient and allows the music to do its thing. And that's what you get from Jochum. He has this recording from the 60s in the Ottoburen Abbey that was done with the Concertgebouw, which is maybe partly because of of where it was recorded. Everything just sounds natural and right, and just beautifully judged. But then you also have this recording from the 80s. This is a live recording, but it's very well recorded, very present stereo sound. And it's also with the Concertgebouw, if I didn't mention that. This one is almost over the top. It's a lot slower, but it's really powerful. You get the sense that Jochum was really trying to make a statement here. It's obviously a work that was very close to his heart. It's actually one of those performances that I say it's not always it's not your everyday listening type of performance. Let me put it that way. Just really overwhelming climaxes and just very intense and a real experience. Now, before we leave Bruckner, I have to mention one of Jochum's most revered recordings in repertoire that we don't have a lot of on disc, and that is this. The recording of the 3 masses and his set of motets. You can also find these in separate originals. I think that you can get the masses by themselves and then the motets by themselves. These are just gorgeous. Very, like I said with Jochum, they've got that humanity, that spirituality about them, that sense of love for the work. And it's beautifully sung. The opening of, for example, the Mass number 2, very hushed, but the voices are still full. They're not like thin and small. They're kind of trembling. There's that devotional atmosphere. Just wonderful, and frequently shows up on these greatest recordings of all time lists, and for good reason. It's a really special set of recordings, beautifully recorded as well. Now, Jochum did very well with choral works. So another one I want to mention, another very spiritual work, is the St. Matthew Passion. This is one he did with the Concertgebouw. I believe it was the late 60s. I mean, and this is one where everything to me sounds right. It just sounds very natural. It's not too slow or heavy, but it's still devotional at the same time. So it's not like the proverbial period instrument track meet, which I think sometimes doesn't give you the full impact of a work like this one. This is just, to me, a gorgeous interpretation and execution and recording and everything in a way that really makes you appreciate the work. And then finally, since we're talking about Jochum and choral works, we have to talk about one of his most famous recordings, and that's, of course, his ORF Carina Burana, the reference for this work. You have Gundula Janowitz on soprano, and then Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau is singing the baritone solo. You have incredible singing, incredible playing from the, who is it with, the Bavarian... the Deutsche Opera Orchestra and Chorus of Berlin. Just fantastic. This is one of those, I hate to ever say you're one and only, but when you hear this, you almost wonder, like, why do I need another version after this? I'm partly kidding. There's always room for other interpretations and lots of great recordings, but this one is really about as definitive as it gets. Very brilliant, exciting, beautiful, and with obvious knowledge of and devotion to the score. Thanks for watching. I want to wish you all a great day and happy listening.